Hey App Growth community, welcome back to the App Growth Show, where we host mobile experts to unlock valuable and actionable insights on how you can grow your app. No matter where you are in your app growth journey, we are here to help you reach your mobile growth goals. Let's dive into today's episode. Today we are so excited to be joined by Cloé Dana, the CEO and founder of Tempr. Cloé's track record truly speaks for itself, and we are honored to be joined by such a leader in our industry. As one of the major accomplishments in her life, Cloé has been nominated by Forbes as one of the top 30 under 30. With over a decade experience in the advertising and marketing world, Cloé shares with us the importance of prediction and automation. Tempr is a global SaaS company that maximizes mobile marketers' revenue and saves their time with the help of prediction and automation technology. Tempr aggregates data from mobile marketing channels through APIs and generates accurate revenue predictions using AI. The platform recommends the ideal budget and bid based on its predictions, and it can be pushed directly to various marketing channels with just a click of a button. Get inspired by our takes on the future of UA and women in tech to uncover how you can scale your app's user acquisition strategy by using Tempr.
This is Jennifer Sansone, and welcome to the App Growth Show. We're very excited to be joined today by Cloé from Tempr. Hello, Cloé.
Hello, very excited to be joining too. Thank you for receiving me.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you for joining us. So to kick things off, why don't you start by telling us a bit about yourself and about Tempr?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Cloé Dana, CEO and co-founder of Tempr, which is a prediction and automation technology for mobile apps to basically help them maximize their return on advertising spend. About myself, I'm a serial entrepreneur, if we can say that. I've been mainly employed 1 year in my life, and I knew I wanted to start my own business. I crashed the first one, but it was maybe the best experience to learn it even more quickly for the following ones. Then with the same co-founders as Tempr, we launched Dreaming 5 years ago, which is a mobile marketing agency. So I started out in this business really talking with the clients to help them on their mobile advertising strategy, to help them open new markets. And that's how we really understood that there was a need for our clients for a technology, for a product. And therefore, the pain was really that they had so much data that they didn't really use to maximize their advertising campaigns. And they were also losing a lot of time on automate everything on their campaigns, because we have a lot of tool on the desktop area, but not for mobile. So yeah, that's why we started working on Tempr Tech, let's say 2 years ago.
Wow, that's a big endeavor. Congratulations to you and your team. And you were talking about advertising dollars, as you know, that's such a big part of marketing and user acquisition. And user acquisition is something we talk a lot about on the show because it is such an important pillar of a growth strategy. So as you said, we know you guys are pros in the area of prediction and automation. Can you maybe take us through a little bit more detail about prediction and why is it important?
Yeah, well, basically, it's very important to be more accurate in how you spend your advertising spend. Let's say that today 80% of the marketing teams really use their knowledge about what has been working. They experiment a lot of stuff, and sometimes they have their own BI and their own data science team, but it's not always connected to how they spend and how they optimize on a day-to-day basis. All of their, like, sometimes they're spending over 500, 1 million per month on advertising spend, and they don't connect all of the data, the historical data that they've been gathering in order to make the best out of their next returns. So that's why it's super important for us. It's to predict instead of, let's set up this budget, let's set up this bid, and we'll see how it goes. Tempr technology is here to tell you with a certain amount of accuracy what you should put as a budget, what you should put as a bid in order to maximize your future returns by today and not wait to be a couple of weeks ahead to see how you performed, let's say. So that's why it's really important, and why we took a lot of time to develop our own algorithm to work towards this prediction technology.
Wow, that's great. I mean, dollars, budgets, it's such a big deal.
Yes.
And it's a pain point for a lot of people. And I think, overall app marketing as a whole is, I think sometimes more complex than some people realize. They're really into the app, they love their product, but then marketing comes into play, and it can be problematic for many, especially those who might be new to the mobile space. So, from your perspective, having worked with so many different people and so many different apps, what are some of the major challenges that app marketers face?
Yeah, totally. It's a very competitive market. We have like 5 million apps out there, so it's not that easy. So for some people, it looks like, okay, I have a great idea of an app and I'll just put it out there, and everyone will see that my app is great. But if there are like 5 other millions of apps, it's not just about the app itself; it's also about its promotion and its visibility. So for us, it's okay. You can do the best job on the app. You can do your app store optimization to get the best ranking and try to have the great reviews. This is a very important work on the long run, but it's also how you manage your advertising budget. Yeah, because you need to bring in a lot of users and then to keep them and to have your own business model to be able to be profitable. But if you don't manage well your advertising budgets, that's where you can, pretty rapidly be out of business on your app. So that's why for us it's very important to get the right tools and the right strategy towards advertising. It's where you spend the budget, how you spend it, how you optimize it, but also the creatives is very important. This is a super important part that a lot of marketers sometimes forget. It's that a lot of your performance is also based on the creative. If it's catchy enough, if you're using the right format, if you're in the right place with the right creative. So it's a lot of points to take into account for sure. Plus today, as you said, it's really a mobile marketer should be tech friendly for all of the analytics to be done. Especially now that we are in this new data privacy era with a lot of the rules that has changed, and you need to understand those rules, and to understand them you need to be a bit technical to use as many data points to make your choices in your advertising strategies.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with all of that. It's things that we talk about a lot with our guests, and also just encounter with our clients as well. So as far as Tempr goes, these challenges we've been talking about. So how does Tempr address some of these, and how are you guys different from other platforms?
Yeah, so Tempr is the only actor that has the proposition value of empowering like all of the data in an easy way for you. So you can connect us quite easily, and we will do the job to understand everything about your historical data to make sure that you will put the right budgets on the right advertising networks with the right bids to maximize your returns. Plus, automate a lot of your actions so that basically the UA manager focus where his focus should be, which is on the strategies, which audience to target, and on the creativity part. Because as far as it goes, okay, computers can do some stuff for the creativity, but for me, it's more the human resource. Number one is our creativity, right? So what we want to do is maximize your returns and save you a lot of time. And that's how we are unique. And we do that, by using all of your data, your historical data that we gather from the MMP, the tracking tool of the client, and the advertising networks that they're using. And we will push to them. The output is giving them the exact proportion of budget they should spend on advertising network number one and advertising number two, etc., and which kind of bids. they should put in. And something else we're working towards today is also on the creative part, but on the performance part of the creative, really looking towards creative fatigue, for instance, to tell you, okay, you should change this creative because we believe it's getting to a point that it's just driving your spendings and not getting you enough revenue. So that's how we help mobile marketers to really use the full power of their data to maximize returns and focus where their focus should be.
And you talk a lot about data because it's so important. And I think that is where it can be overwhelming because there is so much. So what do you focus on and how do you apply it and understanding it? I think that is really the crux of the problem a lot of time is the availability of the data. And then you also briefly touched upon that I'd like to return to the issue of data privacy. So there is all that data, and now you add that extra layer of the area of data privacy. So how does prediction and Tempr and all that fit into that? How can you still maximize and get the information you need in this data privacy era?
Okay, so today with the data privacy, prediction is even more important, right? Because we have way less data points. So we need to maximize their power thanks to algorithms like machine learning to look at what has been done and predict the behavior of those kind of users thanks to like just one conversion value, etc. So that's what we are working on. It's not live in Tempr yet, but it's been a couple of months that we're working on it, and we will work it even more now that we know a bit more where Apple is going forward in the future, because they are releasing a bit more data points than before in order to use those and give the best optimization advices to our mobile marketers based on those small data points that we have.
No, that's great. That's exciting to hear that all of these things are in the works. So in many ways, it could be that, Tempr kind of takes the guesswork out of some of, these things that can be overwhelming, and, maybe marketers aren't as technical as and maybe they don't need to be, right? With machine learning and all of the advances.
Well, the client still needs to figure out really which events are the most important in his journey for the user to have the best conversion value possible, so that we can use the best power of it. But it's exactly the mission of Tempr is to really to make something easy out of all of this data that you don't know how to process, and to do this even with scan network data.
Well, I think that definitely sounds like a very useful tool, especially in these days where you just need to do what you can to get ahead, to maximize budgets and get around all of these things like the data privacy. So it sounds like an amazing product. And I want to switch gears on you a second, Chloe, because we're always very excited when we get females on our podcast. And, we like to talk about women's leadership, especially in the mobile space, and kind of get, a female's perspective on what that means in the mobile industry. So, Chloe, can you give us your perspective on women's leadership in mobile right now?
I believe it's really important that we share the message that it's not for men and that everyone can do it, and that we are less we don't take risks as much as men, and I believe that's also why we have less women as entrepreneur. But in the mobile industry, I don't know specifically why we are really not a lot. In tech, it's even worse. We have a lot of 70% of our employees on Tempr are on the tech in the tech department, and we really struggle hiring women. It's not like we just want to have women. It's just for equality. It's so hard to find really a lot of women applying, and I wish it would change in the future to have a more balanced team, because we can definitely see how it's important to have different types of personalities, and they bring ideas. And in general, diversity, women, men, but other type of diversity, that always bring the best ideas and the best creativity. So yeah, I hope for the future we're gonna still go on that equality path. And yeah, see more women would be good.
I agree, and I think you're right that progress is being made, but definitely a lot more could be done. Like you said, even with the VCs in that area, and more of, and I think the tides will turn. And Chloe, thank you for you're on the forefront of it all. You are, being that role model, and you are the entrepreneur and a female in this industry. So you're definitely doing your part, and I think you're right. I'm pretty optimistic too that with time. It'll balance out a little bit more and get more women in the tech space, because yeah, I think that perspective is very valuable to have, like you said, the diversity coming into the industry, definitely. Well, Chloe, before we close off, we always like to ask our guests if they have any words of wisdom, or even a motto or something that you could share with our listeners about what does it take to make a mobile app successful in these days.
Yeah. Okay, so I have one that I really like. I have plenty, but let's say that for that specific question, and for a mobile app, for instance, I would say, if you always do what you always did, you will always get what you always got. It's from Einstein, and I think it's super, super powerful. It's basically saying, okay, creativity, as I've said it different times in this podcast, I think it's the most important human resource we have, and creativity can basically solve almost any problem. So we need to use that to not feel stuck, and to not do all over every day what we've done yesterday, and to just be average all the time, because you can't succeed if you're average, especially not in the mobile industry. So that would be my word of wisdom for today.
I love it. Well, you can't go wrong with Einstein. So thank you. That's a great application in this case. So thank you for that. And Chloe, I just want to thank you for your time, and for informing us about Tempr, and about you as an entrepreneur and the mobile industry. So thank you once again.
No, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of the App Grow Show. We hope you're able to take away some actionable insights in relation to how a tool like Tempr can help scale your app's UA strategy using prediction and automation. If you found today's episode to be helpful, please visit appgrowthnetwork.com and book your free call with us today to supercharge your mobile growth. See you in the next episode. Bye for now.